Hi,
Hi, Beck.
it's 2020.
Happy flippin' New Year.
Happy
It's
New Year.
2020. Welcome to a
We
new
are
decade.
here.
We're here. Just to give away some production secrets, most of the content, uh, which people who are listening may have heard, our new podcast was released in January 2020, but most of the content was laid down in 2019. So this is our first recording session of the year. Very excited. As I said, Happy New Year. Beck had a baby. Things
I
happened.
did. I did. That was probably like the highlight. Yes, and very dramatic.
Very traumatic.
Very traumatic and very dramatic.
Can we do dramatic?
Dramatic. Oh
Dramatic.
my gosh, that's a new
Boom.
one. Boom, we came up with our own language right there. Yes, it was dramatic, traumatic. I'll get into it in another
But
episode,
he's
possibly.
beautiful.
He is so beautiful, and that's all that matters. He's healthy and
You guys are okay, and
adorable.
he's lovely, and
He's
you're a
so. I
mom,
am
and
a
it's
mum. I'm in the
wonderful.
mums club. I'm so happy. I'm in the mums club. I'm finally getting it.
Yay.
Um, so that's been great. How has your start of the year? How's the holidays been?
Yeah,
And
had a good rest period from work. Went on a bit of a yoga slash health retreat with my sister and my mom, who I'll get into in a bit. My sister came from overseas to visit Auslan, which was lovely to see
so
her
good.
always. And, a restful period, hanging out with all the family, seeing all the family, which is, always interesting and fun and
It's
good.
always interesting with family. Um,
But New Year's is not really. I never feel like anything changes or shifts. Like it's always
no,
anticlimactic for me. I feel like New Year always happens for me in spring. Like there's some kind
spring.
of rebirth or change. Maybe because my birthday's there. I don't know if it's the weather change.
And I
But
always feel like the Chinese New Year for me feels like more of a beginning of a new year because I don't know, I think people are still in vacation mode.
it's true.
Come, January 1st, we're not all like
Mm.
in a
Mm-hmm.
productive
Correct.
schedule yet. So I don't know, I think Chinese New Year is coming up in February and that's when I usually feel like
Mm.
I feel like things are moving a bit more.
It's like people are back in the mode
Yes,
of life,
exactly.
and that feels like feels
Yeah,
like the
it does
new
for me.
new
I'm like,
year.
oh, okay. And it's weird. I don't even know when Chinese New Year is. I'm sure it is February, but that's usually when I start feeling like
Mm.
that
Yeah, I
shift.
think it is in Feb. I never know what day it is. Do you know what? Do they follow a calendar of the moon or their own
I almost want
calendar?
to,
I'm not
I'm not
sure.
sure.
We will,
And
we
this
will
is, yeah,
find
we
out.
will
We
find
will
out. I don't
find.
mean to sound totally like ignorant. So I'd think, I know it's in February and we'll leave it at there before we sound ridiculous. So a lot has been going on in the country.
Yes, we
We've
want to
been
discuss
dealing
things that
with,
were happening. We it's we introduced the fact that yeah, it's a new year, but actually it's not all been fun and games. We're in Australia right now,
in a crisis,
in a
actually.
crisis, and it's been going on for months and months actually. So
Yeah.
we kind of, if we recorded this a couple of weeks ago, we wouldn't have been as upbeat. There's been a lot of climate anxiety because we didn't have any rain. It finally rained a little bit, so we've had some reprieve. But I'm sure everyone's heard what's been happening in Auslan, and it's been really, really horrible. But the truth is, and this what I kind of wanted to talk about is that it's actually been happening since September, and
Yeah, for a
our
while now.
government hasn't acknowledged it until pretty much the new year, wasn't it? Or like at the
Yeah, I
beginning
feel
of the
like it
new
was like right
year.
before the new year into the new year. Um, yeah, I don't think
And
the
then everyone
world's.
woke up.
Yeah, I feel obviously, unfortunately, the only way the rest of the world hears about anything is, yeah, through news or through, yeah, social media. So that it all depends on that for us to, all to be aware.
And it just I get a bit upset and I get a bit emotional because it frustrates me because you were here and we were talking about this in like in October, November.
Oh, yeah.
I bought those masks,
Oh,
those
yeah.
Cambridge. I mean, if we're gonna plug anything, plug those Cambridge um,
Masks.
smoke. What is it? Oh, pollution masks with the filter on it. Because they're actually fantastic, and I bought those already by November, late October, November. I already had them, and my eldest daughter and husband, and they went to a climate change protest already in
I
November. Like
saw that
we were trying to get people to
before
realize, like,
then.
and I hate Facebook. I freaking hate Facebook, but I was trying to go on there and see if people were reacting. Like, no, it seemed like people were just apathetic and didn't really. They knew there were bushfires, but they didn't really. It didn't affect them maybe
Yeah.
personally, so they weren't really caring. But I freaked out when I smelt smoke for days on end in the city, where because I'm in the
Yeah, I mean, we've even been
we're in
smelling
the
it
inner
through the
city,
house. So,
smelling it through the house, smelling
house,
it just walking to a meeting, and that not just for an hour, for like the whole day, for many days, and then having no rain for months and months,
yeah.
and the worst drought, ever. You can't ignore that this is not just an one-off event.
No.
This is the beginning of the end. And I hate to sound so
Yeah,
bleak,
there's been a lot going on just clearly in the world,
yeah,
with fires, even like Puerto Rico's
that's right.
going through a lot of, they're having multiple earthquakes. We went from fires to then we finally got rain and then we were
That's right.
overly rained on and then there was like flooding and it's just like
Here,
over
yeah,
out here.
yeah,
So and the hail
in
and
different parts of the
it's
country.
been nuts. It's been a very years gone off with a bang, I think.
Yeah, I just
Ugh.
and yes, it does take koalas and kangaroos to be
Yeah,
seen in
that
this
got
horrible
me. Yeah,
suffering to
ugh,
get people's attention, which it did.
it did.
And it's amazing how the people of this country actually rallied together and did what the governments could not, which was raise money for
And still
firefighters
doing.
and people, and still doing it. And I think and this ties into, I mean, everything in regards to climate change. If you
Of
can do
course.
anything, funnily enough, on the way here to record, I was in the car listening to the radio and thinking about this, and Dr. Carl was on actually with a scientist on climate, expert in the climate change field, and they were actually talking about this. So it was very interesting to hear that their thoughts on it and answering questions, and specifically if you can do anything, and this is what I was thinking about while I was listening to them, if you can do anything, and it will take a little bit of extra effort on our part, if we can do anything as people to make a difference, we could do a little bit of research
More
into
investigation. Yeah.
and fact checking about who are we voting for. The policymakers, the governments, and the parties are very, especially in Australia, very clever at marketing and sort of not hiding, but sort of skewing some of the information about which companies they support, which companies fund them, and what kind of policies they actually have. We should make sure that we're voting for people who actually have a climate change policy in place, and I mean significant policy that significant changes where we completely change the system.
Right, because I mean, it
Yeah.
is compulsory to vote here.
Yes.
So it's important to do the right research before you actually vote. You're not just going in and just
right.
voting for anyone.
That's right.
Just doing your
It's
research.
actually very dangerous to just donkey vote it or
Of course.
put name like whatever on a page. Well, one of 25 countries in the world that have compulsory voting. Most modern countries in the world
No,
don't.
yeah, they don't in the US at all. But I mean, I think just in general, if you are going to vote, whether it's compulsory or not compulsory, you're doing your research.
What I was listening to as well, Dr. Carlin, that scientist, was saying was that if we do nothing significant, and we know this already, it's not just because we heard them say it, but scientists have been telling us for almost 100 years now, if we do nothing and just keep as we're going to see significant, extensive,
And we are already.
damage worse than what we're seeing now. More frequent,
Catastrophic.
And so it's not even about thinking of your children, your children's children, because you may not have children. You may not. It's just about do it for yourself. Do it just for humanity.
Well, and the planet, like.
Just do it because it's the only planet we've got.
Exactly.
Just one more fun fact from the beloved Dr. Carl. He was saying that if they just stopped manufacturing cars for literally 4 months,
Wow.
they could save a year's
4 months.
of carbon emissions.
For 4 months.
What it's currently at. Just stop making cars for 4 months. And there's no need. There's no need to make 90 million cars
You can stop
year.
for 4 months. You can probably stop for 8 months. Like, everyone will be okay.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Anyway, we can go on and on, but we're not.
Yeah, okay. We'll wrap that up because it probably might make us a bit angry.
Thanks.
How was your yoga retreat?
Yeah, something a little bit more relaxing.
Lighthearted and more nicer.
Okay, yes. So it was only for 2.5 days.
That's okay.
We went to an amazing yoga and health retreat outside of Sydney, about an hour outside of Sydney. It was very hot, and there was still no rain, and fires were burning.
Yeah, I remember you were a bit concerned.
We actually had some kind of anxiety about going, not for us, but just like a bit of. It wasn't a nice time to go. Like, it was a sad time to go because our country was, suffering.
I guess, but probably in the best time to go because you were taken out of that. You were probably also putting positive energy into what is going on, and so maybe it was a good time to go.
And look, the deposit was made. There was no
cancel. It was you had to go regardless.
We had to
Fires or not, it was
we had to go. And look, they were excellent. They said if there was any sort of danger, they would have closed the retreat immediately. They were not there to put anyone in danger, so it was fabulous. And they were fabulous. The actual spot was very serene. It actually had a billabong, Jolly Swagman.
Buy a billabong.
Yeah, buy a billabong.
So you were by a billabong. You couldn't get more Aussie than that.
Exactly. And we had a wonderful host for the weekend, and she was amazing. Just like with meditation, with yoga, it was very intimate. So they only had like 25 people there for the whole thing.
Wow.
So it felt like it was kind of like a family style almost. Like
beautiful.
You'd have like the living room breakout area and then a dining room and it's just wonderful to be in a place. Imagine like for 2.5 days you don't have to worry about your meals and everything is clean. Like it's all vegan.
It was vegan. It was plant-based.
He did use I'm not going to say it was completely vegan because he used only fresh ingredients from local farmers. So he did use once or twice. He used eggs from the farmers.
Yeah, right. Well, I remember your sister was saying like she was like loving the cashew, sauces and things like that. Like it, I mean, yeah, she was saying that it was really nice and the chef was amazing.
It was amazing, and it was all fresh and
fresh
really
produce.
Diverse, fresh produce, all clean. You can follow him. He was wonderful. Your _conscious_kitchen is his Instagram handle.
Bam, we'll be doing that. Yeah,
really beautiful and some really good ideas for food for just like.
Was it something that you see yourself maintaining, or were they recipes that kind of took time to make? Bit of both.
I mean, I think a bit of both. Yeah. I think there are a couple things that you could actually do like without a problem, or you could incorporate into your life. But like some of those desserts with like the chia pudding that he made and like some kind
chia pudding's really simple, but I know what you mean. Like it can get
that probably could take a lot of time.
Yeah,
well, I don't know how he got he managed to somehow get a chocolate cocoa flavor, and there was actually no chocolate in it. It was amazing.
Not like, was it cacao?
No, not even.
No, wow, okay. I don't want to say it wrong. Sometimes cacao. Is it cacao? I don't know. Somebody help us out there. Is it cacao? I've always wondered.
I said cacao.
So do I.
Because cocoa is different. Cocoa is, when I think of cocoa, I think of like
I think it's more sugary. Yeah, quick. Good old quick.
Hot chocolate. It's
cocoa, exactly.
Right? Cacao
has a bitter taste. It's real.
The fresh.
It's the fresh stuff. So did you feel completely relaxed, less anxious, like while you were there, and even, once you left?
It's a very good question, actually. Going with my mother, I kind of thought, how can I fully relax? But actually, it turned out to be a blessing in disguise because we actually had a lot of breakthroughs all together.
That's good.
And did some inner work, and a lot of my stuff relates back to her, and like it was just really good to have my sister and my mum there to work through it. And she's really anti all this mumbo jumbo, like, she hates yoga and like,
right.
but she actually gave it a go.
Yeah, I'm proud of her.
And gave it a go. like obviously she's got, she's like 70 something now, and her knees are not as great, but she actually did try a few moves and she gave it a go. She did the meditation and actually liked it. And
Great.
one of the meditations, she goes, I actually it revealed, and I'm like, uh-huh,
Wow, see? Yes.
incorporate, use in your daily practice, like it's
Yeah.
everything.
I was saying like to my husband just like I think it was last night, the night before. I don't even know. I have mum brain. I'm on like an hour sleep a night or something. But we were saying like in, little Makai's nursery, we want to have like a little teepee and like a Zen
That's
teepee
so
with like
cute.
little
Yes.
pillows and like relaxing music and in terms of like not like go to your room but like go to the Zen room or go and meditate, like sit with what you've done or sit with your
Yep.
thoughts. And I
Yep.
think it's important in this new
Mm-hmm.
world and new age to
Mm-hmm.
like incorporate that in the daily, especially with that new generation.
Yes.
Because yeah, the older generation doesn't really get it. They're trying, and
That's right.
your mum's. I'm so glad that she went and did that,
Uh-huh.
and I'm glad I went on a health retreat with my mum a few years ago, and it was really beneficial for the both of us. And it's just like incorporating that with the new
Absolutely. You're so right. The
tools.
earlier the better.
Yeah.
If they can incorporate mindfulness
Hmm.
earlier, the better chance they'll be able to deal with life and have some resilience. I think one of the reasons I really love my daughter's school is they have well-being week every
So
month,
good.
and they practice mindfulness. So for a week they'll do activities where it relates to just being mindful and solving your problems and how you deal with stuff, practicing resilience, no homework, just relax.
It's
Like
really
you
good.
need that. You need that in today's
Yeah, and
world.
you need a bit of a break from the go go go
Yeah.
movement of life,
Yeah.
really. So
And
that's
yeah,
good.
that's right. And they got to know that it's okay to feel
Hmm.
anxious or like to have thoughts. Like they have to know what to do with them. I think, like you were saying, we we sort of we were maybe we were conditioned in a different way, like to respond to thoughts, or we didn't even know how. We didn't have the tools. I don't think
Not at
the
all.
generation above us even knew, or two generations above us actually, as we learned in its millennials,
Yeah.
they didn't know how to handle us, and so we kind of bombarded and overwhelmed by our thoughts.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you can incorporate some kind of spiritual practice or meditation into your life, I'm telling you, it
Or
will
go to a
go to a
retreat if you
retreat.
can, or create a retreat in your own space, which can sometimes be hard, but it's
Yeah,
really nice to remove
it's really
yourself.
nice.
And it looked so pretty. I have to say, like some of the
Oh,
pictures
stunning.
that Han posted, on her Instagram, they were so beautiful. It just looked so nice. It's so nice to be amongst nature
Yeah.
and,
I'll put some up on our Insta.
oh, yeah.
But yeah, just being at one with nature. We even actually had one of our sessions with the host she was amazing. Even my mom said she was amazing, which is a
Yay.
big thing for her because she doesn't usually she's usually talking about people to criticize them. Now it's a bit harsh, but but it's big for her to say that
Yeah.
she had no problems with this person.
Amazing.
This
We
person
love
was
that.
catering to 25 people who had different levels of experience with yoga and meditation, like some pretty much from zero to
That's
experienced.
really good because sometimes you can feel, a little out of place if you feel like some
Yeah,
people are more experienced, some people are not. But I know, you've started doing more
yeah,
yoga. I think your sister
yeah.
hadn't done a lot
No,
of
she
like
never tried it. It was
yeah,
and
so
she did really well,
it's really
and she
good.
enjoyed it.
I'm
She said
love
she might even take it up. So
Yeah, it's like a different like I mean we've talked about it in other episodes. It's like a different form of like a it's like a mind workout
yeah, and body.
and mind and body workout, which I love.
I've got my paper.
Han is
Okay,
so
listen,
excited
I've
right
got my
now.
paper. Because
She's
I wrote it down
We
before I knew I
wrote
was coming to
down
talk to
what
you. And
shows that
my
we have been binge watching, really. And she's like sitting here giddy right now because she's so excited to. I mean, so am I, really, because in between like my pumping sessions and all those kinds of things, I've been, catching up with some
oh, that's
shows. So that's been good. But Gohan, she's really excited.
I want to hear what you've been watching as well. So I have 3 words for everyone. Toss a coin. Does
Toss a
anyone know what I'm
coin?
talking about? Toss a
No.
coin to your Witcher. The
No.
Witcher.
Oh, I've heard of that.
We binge watched the first week
Howie
it
was
came out. 'Cause
started
yeah.
watching it as well, but I
Okay.
didn't get a chance.
Nick's played the video games, so and I do like a bit of fantasy, what do they call it? Fan fiction, fantasy, trolls.
Yeah,
dwarves,
you and I have like
elves.
different tastes of shows, so that's why
Not
it's
to
going to be
mention,
interesting.
Henry Cavill is beautiful.
See, I don't know who that is.
Okay, he was Superman.
Don't know who that is.
Okay.
I'm horrible. Superman
Just
for me
three
is
words.
Dean
Toss
Cain.
a coin. Just toss a coin into The Witcher. The Witcher is awesome.
Okay, so Witcher we give it 3 thumbs up.
Is that the best?
2 thumbs up. I'm giving it 3. Sounds like 3. Sounds like it's extra thumbs. What was the next? What was the other one?
Okay, one I watched before The Witcher, which I think should deserve a mention. It's not on Netflix, but it's like you could probably find it on SBS Demand. It might be still there, or other streaming shows. Have a look. It's a British show called Years and Years, and it kind of relates to a lot of what we were talking about with, or touched upon with the state of the world.
Right.
It's a really high tempo show about it takes you through basically the next 10 to 15 or 20 years
Wow.
of what's actually happening with the world, and it ties all factors: climate, economy, technology, and it follows this family, how they navigate through that, and it's really good, really good. I would recommend that. A bit full on. It kind of made my heart race a little bit, but it's all good.
It was good.
Another one I just binged, the beloved RuPaul, has her own show in AJ
Yeah,
and the
Han
Queen.
loves RuPaul. I mean, I do too. I haven't gotten into it as much as I think a lot of other people, but he is awesome.
Well, it's a show. It's actually a scripted
it's one of
Netflix
his-
show, like
right.
a drama. I would say it's a what do they call those new ones? A dramedy, like a comedy
yeah.
dramedy. AJ and the Queen. Really lovely story. Really lovely. Kind of style and funny and heartwarming. Really nice.
Ooh.
We watched probably late to this party. We just watched the Joker movie. Loved
That's
it.
right. I remember you were
yeah.
saying you were just wanting to be nicer to people just in general after watching that. I found it was a brilliant movie. He was incredible. I was so disturbed after. It took me like 24 hours just to shake that off. But that means I was affected by it, which means it was pretty good.
Definitely. I would definitely have to agree with you. Be nice to freaks people, seriously.
Yeah.
And then the letdown, I just sort of started
You
watching.
mentioned that to me. I found the letdown a bit aggressive.
A bit of a letdown?
A bit of a letdown. I'm sorry.
Good kind of
I preferred Working Mums. I think it's because I watched Working Mums first. I thought it was too similar.
Okay.
And it was like, I don't know. I only got through the first 5-10 minutes because I felt like they were making, baby mum life seem like such a stress and a burden and a pain. And I didn't feel that way and I didn't want to feel that way. So I was like, no, but
So is
I'm in
Working
my
Mums
mama.
a bit more lighthearted?
Way more lighthearted. So I guess, but I have had a lot of people recommend The Letdown to me, but I loved Working Mums is really good. It's actually a Canadian show.
Oh, okay. I love
yeah,
Canada.
you love Canada.
Okay, what are your...
Yeah. So I haven't watched anything too serious and I've been pressed for time clearly at the moment. But we just binge watched The Circle, which is that reality Big Brother, Survivor, social media kind of thing. I don't know. We were so addicted to it. We just kept going through it. We really, really liked it. It's good for lighthearted. Another show that's back on that we've started watching. So funny. It's called Sex Education. It's a show from the UK.
Is it good?
It's with Gillian Anderson. It is so good. It's so funny and awkward and quite brilliant. I'm trying to think what else I've watched recently. We got through half of The Irishman. Ooh. I will say it is. And then I went into labour like a couple days later and we've been trying to watch it ever since and it was still going. It is a long movie, but it is absolutely brilliant. We can't wait to finish it. We just can't do it right now. I can't.
It's too heavy?
not even just that, I don't really even have an hour and a half of time, or I'll fall asleep within 20 minutes, because I think we've been looking for shows that are not too long. And a favorite of mine, it's not on Netflix, but Power, a show that I've been highly invested in, is coming to an end, and it's coming to an end in a really big way. So it's so
How many
good.
seasons?
It's 6 seasons.
Okay, it's pretty intense.
But I think that's all I've been watching. I don't know, because I don't know where my brain is at this point.
I don't even know
But
how you're sitting up. And
I don't know how I'm here right now.
You're in a fetal
And
position.
right. But yeah, those were my more lighthearted shows that
Cool.
we watched.
I'm gonna actually try a few of those.
Yeah, because I know you're usually into the lighthearted. You don't like anything too serious. I know you love reality, so
I do.
I think
I'm gonna try The Circle.
Try The Circle. Sex Education is really funny.
I do have a question for you, because you did recommend The Morning Show as well. Which,
yes.
But
oh, sorry.
Did you catch that burn that Ricky Gervais gave Apple?
Sorry, I didn't even mention The Morning Show. That was another one.
They were sitting. Just a quick mention. If you watched that Golden Globes intro, did you watch the intro?
Again, we got 5 minutes into it, and then I think my little one started, I don't know, we had to feed him or he pooed.
It's just that clip of his introduction.
What did he say?
Something along the lines of, because Apple TV created or streams The Morning Show, and he made this massive dig at basically the guy who ran Apple TV sitting there at the table saying you support or you run child sweatshops and
I didn't even know
really
that.
bad, something really, really bad.
Oh God. I will look back. I think we have recorded that Golden Globes. I'll look back at that.
Definitely.
I didn't know that. I mean, I don't have Apple TV.
And then just Jennifer Aniston and Brad
I'm
Pitt.
just
Oh my
obsessed
God.
with. I'm sorry, Jennifer Aniston is everything.
Has everyone seen the hand?
Yeah, everyone is obsessed with. It's so bad. They'll have he won an award, and then they'll make sure she's in the background so they can intensely look at every single eyebrow lift or crack of a smile. Or I mean, I don't know about them together now, but I'm so obsessed with her. She's one of my favorite people that I've never met, but I do love her.
Great.
And she just won a SAG award, so that was for The Morning Show, so that was pretty awesome. But yes, sorry, The Morning Show was brilliant. I love that. I don't love what you've just said about Apple TV. Don't have Apple TV, but yeah.
And The Mandalorian. Just have to add that in
on your top picks.
One of the top shows you've got to watch. If you love Star Wars, you will love you will have your Star Wars fix from The Mandalorian.
Oh yeah, how was
Baby Yoda?
We're all about. I call my little one a Baby Yoda.
Yeah, he's pretty much.
I think he really is. How was the new Star Wars?
We need a whole other show.
Okay,
look, I enjoy it.
Yep.
Look, I'm just gonna say I'm not a harsh critic. As long as there's lightsabers and Jedis and stuff.
You're good.
I'm really good.
You're really good.
Yeah.
Yay! All right, awesome. Well, thanks for listening, guys.
So much.
Tune in for the next episode, whatever it may be, whatever we start rambling on, and whatever subjects come to our mind. We always